Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance, and you are looking at a Conqueror Gun Carriage. This is the Tier 10 British SPG, and we're on Prokhorovka, North Spawn, and this one is being commanded by Captain Ashstorm, and he's a member of What Arty Noobs, so I expect good things from this battle. I'm pretty sure that he knows how to handle this beauty. And he's off towards the railway line. Goes past the T110 E4. He's going to the right to the back of the map. But he's not going to the railway line, he's actually setting up behind that bush. Well, he doesn't have to go to the railway line. There's no rule that says you have to go to the railway line, but a lot of Artys do. I think actually he's being inventive. He's saying, I'm not going to go to the railway line. I'm going to stay away from that area. I'm going to hide behind some bushes and do exactly the same. And perfectly okay. You can see some trees being knocked down further down that line. There's also that Wizzy 132 whizzing around, but it's a difficult target to hit. He's going to have a go though. Oh, 383 hit points. That was a good shot. Considering that's a fast-moving target, a fast-moving light tank, he managed to get quite a nice chunk out of him. That Wizzy 132 won't be feeling so smug now. Lights like to come up to the ridgeline and move up and down and spot the enemy, but they think they're impregnable. They can't be touched. Unfortunately, they can be if there's a good Arty player on the other side. And many's the time that an enemy tank gets just too close and gets taken out by a very experienced Arty player. Okay, E100's backing away, but he's going to go after, I think, these mouses, or mice. No, it's a mouse. And a pair of E100s. He's shooting at the mouse first. Unfortunately, it moved after he fired, so it just backed away. He's relocating. But he's not going very far. In fact, he's going to sit around the cap area. He's far enough away from the enemy that the enemy can't see him anyway, because he's well beyond the 400 meter range. Or 450 meter range. Now, it's good that his team is actually getting plenty of spotting in. They've got a Wizzy 132 in grid square E1 who's having a good look. He can see that E100, and that's what Captain Ashstorm is aiming for right now. He's anticipating it moving forward. He gets a lovely hit there. 401 hit points, and it was a direct hit right on the front. So that may have actually taken out his driver. If it didn't, it certainly gave him a headache. You can see them, the E100, both of them are stacked up on the 2 and the 3 line, whereas the mice, or mouse, it's a single mouse. The single mouse is sitting at the back. He's not actually moving up. Okay, which one's he going to go for this time? I think it's for the E100s again. Yep, he's going to go for the nearest E100 because it's the biggest threat to his team. It just fired a round, but he's stationary, backing off a little, rounds out. Oh, he splashed it. It was just to one side, but it was a good 334 hit point. And he's relocating again. There's no way the enemy Arty is going to be able to get a bead on him. The enemy Arty is an Object 261, which is actually quite a fast firer, 18cm gun. But the problem is that if Captain Ashstorm keeps relocating, there's no way that the Object 261 is going to know where he's gone to. You can only guesstimate. Okay, he's going for the rear of that E100. Oh, look at that! 959 hit points right into the rear. Lovely strike, and he's picking up stun assist as well straight away. That must have hurt. Right, is it going to be the T110E4 or is it going to be the mouse? I think he's looking for that T110E4. It's unsighted at the moment. The mouse is far too big to not to spot. Yeah, he's going after the E110E4. T110E4. Unfortunately, it doesn't look as if the T110E4 was there, but it's moving a little further up the hill this time. Just shaking up his routine. Going back to the mouse. No, he's going to have a look at that T110E4. He's using his... I thought he was using his right-hand mouse button to have a quick look elsewhere to see if there's a better target. He's decided he's going to go after this IS4. He hasn't indicated the target yet with the T key, but I think that's what he's intending to do. It's moving a bit, but he fires around in, and he gets a 463 splash against the IS4. And he's moving. I know some Arty players, they don't actually watch the fall of shot to see exactly what happened to it. They just fire and immediately move, and it's impossible to counter battery those tanks because they're on the move even before the enemy knows they fired. Before they've seen the tracer, they're already in motion. Oh, that back chat just went straight down the cliff edge. I think the guys on the hill are causing no end of problems. He's going for the Foch 155 tank destroyer. He's sitting on the cliff edge, aiming. And that landed to one side of it, but I don't know if he did. Yeah, he did stun. He did track it. He's picked up some track assistance or damage assistance. Right, he's got 16 rounds left, and there's 8 minutes on the clock. He's going for the IS4. I think that's the same IS4 that he fired at before, but it went down the cliff edge, and then it's climbed up the other side. Okay, looks like it's been tracked. Rounds out. And he kills it! 1,346! But I think he only picked up a little chunk of that. Right, that Wizzy 132, the one he hit right at the start of the battle, has come back and is up at the ridge line going across the top. But it's well defended, so there's no chance that 132 is going to come into this side of the map and threaten Captain Ashstorm. But that Batchat 25T could be a nuisance. They're both doing runs up and down. Now, it may be that the enemy Arty is having difficulty trying to spot targets. Going for the mouse. He's having fire requests. That crosshairs above the mouse says, please send fire assistance on that target. And we saw a tree go down just to the left of it. And he gets a splash 377. The tree going down was probably the T110E4. If it wasn't, it was one of the other tanks in that posse. There's a T110E3 down there as well. Could have been either one of them. The 132 in the meanwhile is doing circuits and circles. And he's desperately trying to spot, but he's been tapped and tracked. And they're picking up some hit points on him. Now can Captain Ashstorm help them? Oh, he did a nice skid turn there, and he gets a splash on him, 91 hit points. So we got a piece of him. Always good when the enemy team tracks a light tank like that, a fast moving light tank, because then it makes it very easy for Arty to home in a nice shell and splash the enemy to death. Right, there's a Type 5 Heavy. Right up at the ridge line, but he's backing off. Now he's moving forward a bit, so round out. I think that splashed it just in front. the IS-7 just takes out that Wizzy 132. And he was on the railway line as well, would you believe it? Okay, he did stun the Type 5 Heavy. He's getting a request for fire on the T110E4. Almost dialed in. Rounds out. And it's direct hit. Went straight into the E4. No explosion. We might pick up some stun assist very shortly. He's getting another fire request on the T110E4. But I'm not sure if that's the one on the west flank or the one on the east flank. No, it is the one on the east flank. And it's been taken out. So it's just an Object 140. Oh, that FOC 155, he's stationary and he's on the edge. And he's been tracked, I think. Oh, and he's killed before the round goes in. Isn't that just the way? Sometimes that happens with Arty. You see a target, it's been tracked, it's stationary, you dial the aim in, you fire, and the target is killed before your shell arrives. And many's the time I've heard my round ping off the hull of a dead tank. And I think, yes, that would have been my kill. Just pipped at the post by another tank. Oh, there's a half-dead tank right at the far end. I think that's a T110E3. But Captain Ashstorm is going after the Object 140 up on the hill. Now, is he backing away? Yes, he is. He's trying to hold that position. Rounds in. And a direct hit! 548 hit points. That's a good strike, that one. And he's picking up stun assist as well. Now there's only 3 minutes of the game left and there's still 6 enemy tanks to destroy. 5 enemy tanks to destroy. One of them's just been taken out. That was the Type 5 Heavy. So they're going to have to get a move on. They haven't got much time. Otherwise it will end up as a draw. T110E4 rounds out. Landed behind. They're pressuring the east flank at the moment. Meanwhile, the other team members are moving down the railway line as quickly as possible and over the hill. They realise the urgency. Now, if Captain Ashstorm can get a shot in on the T110E4, he can splash it, and that may be enough to kill him. Rounds out. Oh, he moved! He moved! So he only got a 96, but it was taken out by the Wizzy 132, so at least that T110E4 is down. That just leaves the enemy Arty and the Object 261. Oh, sorry, and the not the Object 261, the Object 140. Now the Object 140 must be the other side of the railway line. He's in the dip. There he is. Oh, can't fire at that because that would hit his E100. Oh, it's going to be very tight. And the round goes in, and it would have splashed the Object 140. So he would have got some hit points there, but he's won the battle. And they won it with 1 minute 14 to spare, would you believe it? That was incredibly close. And we can see that there wasn't any awards for Captain Ashstorm in that battle. But he actually did his highest damage ever in the Arty, and he received a rank because this was one of the ranked battles. And let's have a look at the team scores. He did the most, second highest amount of damage, 5,000 hit points of damage. He got 1 kill, which puts him joint third, and he received hit points, or base experience points rather, of 991, which put him fourth. He fired 18 rounds, got 4 direct hits, 4 penetration, 14 splash, damage of 5,000 hit points, all at more than 300 meters. He hit 10 of the enemy, killed one of them. He also did damage assistance of 665 hit points and stun assistance of 719. He caused 17 stuns. On a premium account, he earned 67,316 credits, but after deduction of ammunition, he took away 23,216 credits. He earned the experience of 1,487, and that's all he took away because there was no multipliers. So well done, Captain Ashstorm. Best damage on this Arty so far, but because it was a ranked battle, obviously it's a lot more difficult when you're playing top of the tree enemies. So I can understand it if you didn't come away with any medals, because nobody did. It was purely for the ranking. So well done indeed. If you enjoyed this replay, please do give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully I'll be seeing you in the next replay.